Hello everyone, good evening and welcome to, I nearly said Friday Gem, but welcome back to my channel we'll start with. You will notice, I apologise that my view is a little bit different tonight. I have been seconded to the end of the table. I'm actually in my modelling chair tonight. So I will give a big update from Lewis a bit later on in that side, but at the moment he's on bedtime duty tonight. So sort of because I don't really have the space on this side, it's not really Friday Gem because I'm actually doing some knitting tonight. So I thought I'd just do something simple. I thought, actually, you know what, it'd be nice to go live and just have a simpler feel. So like I say, I am joined by Lewis tonight, and we also do have a very special guest join us tonight. Make sure he hasn't got a mouthful of hot beverage. So we've actually got Kaylin join us tonight. So good evening and welcome, Kaylin.
Hello from California.
Yeah, well, it's always sunny, so we're here.
Yeah, sometimes. Where I live, it's always smoky.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, but thankfully, winter is kind of rolling in, so the rain has started, which is nice.
The rain has started, which is nice.
Indeed.
Okay. So yes, so we thought, actually, you know what, we'd have Kaylin on to join us. Thought, you know what, make a change, actually bring some new interesting conversations. Thought, you know, a nice easy night tonight. And just well and truly put me off the scale modelling, seeing Kaylin and Lewis's phenomenal building. Before we get started as well, not that I actually want to put anyone off watching my channel tonight, but I will get Lewis to put a link in the chat. I want to say scale model vets. Sorry guys. The Dutch are doing a 48-hour group build, which our very own model officer James Skiffins and the budget modeler, which is Steph, are joining them. So for the next 48 hours, if you're short of something to do, please go along and just give them some morale and whatnot. But I will get Lewis to put the link later on. So I shall go through the chat and we shall see who's joined us. And in true Mark style, hi, just to let Nat know, because I know how much he loves to be reminded, it is only 56 days and 4 hours left till Christmas. Thank you very much, as always, Mark. Ever so useful. Next in was Eric from Twisted Rail Hobby saying, hey everyone, waiting to pick the kiddo up from school. Not feeling great, so might bail out early tonight. So no, that's I hope Eric doesn't mind me saying, people in the group will have seen, but he's having a few issues with his leg. Bless him. So yes, get well soon, Eric, and make sure you put that ruddy leg up. Trust me, I can still give you an ear bashing from this side of the pond. And we have got, as always, Quanaman, quack, quack. He put, oops, had the keyboard in duck mode, meant to say hi all. We expect nothing less from you, Dan. And then we had Gemma join us, saying hi to myself, Quanaman, and Eric. So good evening, Gemma. And the lovely Katie saying hi everyone. So good evening, Katie. And we had join us in chat. We had Kaylin getting his finger words in before we went live. Mark, I'm confused. Have you taken over Lewis's channel? I'm the boss, so yeah. No. What we've both said is it's sort of be nice for both our channels. If it's something involving both of us, then we will stream to both of our channels. Quanaman, are you making Lewis some new Y-fronts now? Not a chance. And we have got the lovely Shane join us, saying good evening to Nat, Lewis, Kaylin, and all in chat. Hope you are all keeping well. We're good this end, Shane. Thank you very much. I am just on countdown to Monday because the kids go back to school after half term and Lewis is back at work. And we have got Spiddy saying "Hey up." Good evening, Spiddy. Mark, hi everyone. I was on Lewis's channel as it's live there too. Are we getting you a bit confused, Mark? I'm not going to go any deeper into that one before I get myself into trouble. No, it's just purely because obviously because I'm mainly crafting and Lewis is modelling, obviously we will have different subs, so it was just to appeal to everyone really. And we have got Candygram for Mongo, which is the lovely Jeff, saying hi to everyone. So good evening, Jeff. Let's have a look. Everyone saying hi. I think that is everyone just saying hello. Eric, Lewis, you gained a few pounds. I don't quite know how to take that one, Eric.
I think they're talking about me.
I thought, oh, it's Kaylin, my bad. Come on, you can tell it's not Lewis because Kaylin actually appears to have all his natural hair colour. Lewis has gone premature grey, so that's how you know it's not Lewis. And we have also got Paul MD Tommaso saying hello to everyone. So good evening, Paul. I hope you are doing very, very well after your health issues you've had recently. And good evening to Nana Sunrise as well, if she is watching. So that is chat caught up. We have got 11 people watching. So as always, a massive, massive thank you for joining me on your Friday evening / afternoons, depending on which side of the pond you're at. Yeah, what time is it your end, Kaylin?
It's 12:09.
Blimey.
Yeah.
Very much mid-afternoon then for you, or midday, shall we say?
Yeah, definitely. I'm still just kind of waking up. I haven't even showered yet this morning. I needed to, but last night was a long night.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas.
Breathing.
We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
And he's here. How's it going, Liz? Blue hands.
This is for Nat's examination later.
There you go. I see you got a haircut.
Yes, Holly flipping Luya. Oh yes, so yes, the only downside to me being here, obviously, you can see the back door. So if Lewis goes out for a vape or anything, oh God, hold on. Quanaman, oh, Nat. Are you making Lewis a rainbow-coloured woolly bikini? If you haven't come across Quanaman a lot, Kaylin, you will get used to him soon enough. He's a very unique character, isn't he?
What's that?
Quanaman's a very unique character.
Oh, he's a lovely lad, Quana. Man wouldn't say boo to a goose.
Get.
You could have done your hair.
We've got the Bobbins in saying hello, so good evening, Bobbins.
Good evening, Bobbins.
And Paul, thank you very much, Nat. I'm doing okay so far. Had an ultrasound yesterday. I find out next week when I see the doctor if everything's okay. So yes, fingers crossed. That's Paul.
Oh.
That's Paul Di Tommaso.
Oh.
He just put. Lewis just said, "Is she pregnant?" Like you clearly didn't hear the name.
No. Sorry, Paul. My apologies.
Oh.
I just heard ultrasound. Who's pregnant?
What are you working on, Lewis?
Yes, so let's put Lewis on the down cam. Let's see where it's aimed. Now, this is the reason I have been seconded.
That's the wrong word.
Well, whichever. I've been kicked out my chair.
Is that the Turpits?
No, this is Belfast.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there we go.
That's as far as I got.
Nice.
Everything is nigh on made up. Just got like a few lifeboats, life rafts and whatnot to make up, but they could be done laters. Not going to take long to do that.
I picked up a couple of, well, I've had this one for a while. This is the Arizona.
Oh.
But this is a Revell kit, and I haven't done a Revell ship before, and it's in a weird scale. It's like 1/426 scale.
Yeah, it's what they call box scale.
Okay.
So they built the box and then made the ship to fit the box.
Yeah, I haven't opened it yet. I'm going to start this probably in December. And then the New Orleans, this is the Trumpeter 1/700 scale. And
Sorry. What
was the...
What scale?
1/700.
I don't recognize that scale.
I know. It's going to be fiddly. I opened it up to take a look at it, and oh my gosh, like this is the hull. It's ridiculous. But I want to do a diorama of a couple of ships, and so I decided to start doing some of the 1/700 just for fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then of course I built the Bismarck years ago it was like 25 years ago, and that was a fun build, and I can't remember what kit it was, but that one, I was a teenager, so it ended up meeting the fate of the pond and a possible kerosene explosion.
Yeah.
You know what young teenage boys will do.
Well, I'm sure you and Lewis do.
I do love the Bismarck kits, the larger ones. I thought about getting one, but the Turpits is really cool. I like the design that camo that you guys have done on it. I don't know, you haven't done your camo yet though, have you?
You've not done the camo.
Not for the Turpits,
No.
Not yet. It's going to be interesting, to say the least. But I have found a couple of reference pictures where the camo isn't pristine lines.
Really?
Because the one thing these guys had, they had paint brushes and brooms and everything, but they didn't have masking tape and stuff like that. So all your pictures that's taken away, they look nice, pristine lines.
Yeah.
But was it really like that when the slapping it on.
Yeah. Well, that's how it is with aircraft too. When you see a helicopter up close, or even an airplane up close, a lot of times because they just slap paint back on it with a roller, and it doesn't look perfect, but from a distance it does.
Yeah.
So
I mean, there's pictures of when they were painting the D-Day stripes, invasion stripes on the Spitfires and everything. There's pictures of them using mops to paint them on.
Oh yeah.
You know, so it's how accurate would it be? I mean, nowadays we get them pristine, but to me, it's an excuse not to do it pristine because I can't do pristine.
Yeah. No, I hear that for sure. So today what I'm working on is you'll see it in a minute, I'll drop the camera down, but I'm working on the LKW 5-ton military 4x4, and I'm just, I had my fun with the airbrush yesterday. I actually had a really good airbrush session and managed not to get too irritated with it, and got some paint on for once, which was pretty exciting for me. And so now I'm just doing all the hand painting. Since it is such a tiny 1/72nd scale, the remainder of the painting will all be done by hand.
Wow.
So, and this one I decided, because I have a 1/72nd Blackhawk, I'm not going to do them per their actual colors. I'm going to do a diorama of my own that I think would look cool, and I'm just going to paint them in the colors that I want, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Nothing wrong with that, Caleb.
So, what got you into scale models then, Kaylin?
Well, so here's the funny thing. When I was a kid, because I back when I was a kid, ADHD wasn't really a thing, or what do you call it? I can't think of it. But anyways, it was really hard to kind of focus on one thing at a time. And so my grandfather, he would always give me little projects and stuff to dismantle. Like the first thing I ever took apart and rebuilt was a boat engine. And I was young. I think I was about 6 or 7. And I did it just because he was like, here, tear this apart. And so then they started getting, buying me model kits. And about the time I turned 16 or 17, I quit building them. And I think a lot of people at that time in the world had kind of stopped modeling. It wasn't, there were other things to grab your attention, like the internet was becoming a thing and video games and all that. And I was never really into video games. OCD, that's what I'm thinking of, because I can't focus on a video game longer than like 5 minutes. And so it's like I like doing stuff with my hands, and I always have. And it's funny, I hadn't done modeling for a long time. And then I built a few things here and there just off the cuff over the last few years. But most of the stuff that I do, when my wife and I bought our house, it's like it was an excuse to do something. And so I started doing a lot of woodworking and things like that. And then I started watching, I don't know how I think it was the USS Enterprise, because since I was a kid, I was kind of a closet Star Trek fan, and I lost interest in that too when I got older. But then like a year and a half ago, I saw this thing from World of Wayne, a post he was building the Enterprise, the die-cast one. And I was like, holy crap, that looks like a lot of fun. I want to do that. And it's something that, I can do in my spare time, and it would be a lot of fun, and it would be cool to have that kit. And then, my wife kind of had said, well, what about plastic models that are cheaper? And I said, well, I can do those too. So it's funny because it's kind of reborn in just the last few years, or just the last year. And so I had to buy all new modeling stuff, and I love doing the detail work. So which is kind of a funny thing. Like I'll complain about it sometimes with how certain kits are, but to be totally honest with you, you know, like even the Airfix kits or the NPC car kits, there's always those fit issues or gaps or this or that. But to be honest, that's my favorite thing to fix. And I'm one of those people that things have to be as close to perfect as possible, which is in the modeling world is kind of, it hurts because you never feel like something's 100%. Especially when it comes to paint as on cars. You can never get away. I don't know how I've seen people paint cars before and there's no dust in it. I don't know how they do that. It's crazy. But anyways, that's kind of my world. And I've been having so much fun doing it, and I didn't realize there was such a huge modeling community until just, you know, recently. And I'm so glad, like, I've found people like you and Nat and you know, World of Wayne and there's thousands of them, there's hundreds of them that I subscribe to on my channel just because they do amazing work. And it's like even your work, Lewis, like I can't believe like what I've seen on your channel so far, and it's like I just want to see more. And you know, it's amazing to me that I missed all this in the last, you know, 25 years.
Yeah, it is nice, that sense of community when you find it. Yes, no, apologies for the noise in the background. He's airbrushing, let me just put the time, he's airbrushing his Belfast, but Lewis requested that my segue get you talking so that you can do some airbrushing. What we didn't realise was the microphone was coming through from the webcam above him, not the top of the head. So we muted everything, but we've had it going to the wrong microphone.
Yeah.
So in other words, the host hadn't done a job properly.
Oh, tires. So yes, I have adjusted the mic, so we should be coming through loud. If it gets, I know you were saying she was struggling to hear the conversation. If it gets too bad, let me know. Just apologies. Like I say, we're at that home stretch with Belfast, and even I've got to the point where, Lewis, get it done so it can finally come off the bench. Let me sort of skip through some of these comments. Paul MD Tommaso, I should hope I'm not pregnant. That would be rather odd indeed.
Well, if you are pregnant, Paul, I'll be your manager.
And we've got David Screwing Gluing saying, I see Nat has her Sunday top on. Yes, pulled up. Thank you very much.
Sunday frolics.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, rubbish.
Spiddy, I don't know squat about war canoes, but I've been on HMS Belfast.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's one place Lewis would love to go.
Again.
Yes, again. And we have got Scale Model Muse in saying afternoon all. So good evening, Marcy.
Just a side note, Caitlin. If you ever go to any of the museum battleships, can you take lots of photos for me, please?
Definitely.
Because
I've actually been on board the Nimitz once.
Oh.
Stop drooling all over your painting.
Yeah, my grandpa took me to the Nimitz when I was, I think about 9 or 10. And it was such an amazing ship. And it's now that I've, heard about the new super carriers, it would be amazing to tour one of those.
Oh, yes.
That's the only reason you want to go on holiday to America, isn't it? So you can go around all ships.
Yep. Missouri, New Jersey, Iowa, Wisconsin, Texas, Massachusetts, I believe.
Yep.
The
Arizona would be the memorial would be an awesome thing to visit too.
Oh yes.
That's the one at Pearl Harbor, isn't it?
Yeah. It's so the Arizona is in front of the Missouri. So the Arizona, in essence, was the start of the Americans coming into the Second World War, and the Missouri was the finish of it.
Yeah.
So basically, when the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, that was the start of the Americans coming into the Second World War.
Thank you.
The Arizona sunk with a great loss of life.
Yes.
During that battle, and the Missouri is the ship that the Japanese surrendered on at the end of the Second World War.
Right.
So they've got the start and the beginning.
Yeah, it wasn't much of a battle; it was more of an ambush.
Oh yes.
My grandfather was actually stationed in Hawaii, and he was in the Air Corps, which is what the Air Force was called before it was the Air Force. And he had some really amazing stories, but he was in the control tower, so he didn't really see much fighting of any kind. But
no,
he, it's still the history of everything is what captures me. I think you as well.
Oh yeah, I do a lot of research on YouTube and everything of going around Pearl Harbor, and I was amazed to see that they never repaired any of the hangars. So with the bullets from the planes and whatnot coming through the hangars, you can still see the holes in the back of the hangars where they hit.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, it's certainly brings it home.
Yeah, it's really expensive to fly there though, but it is a place I'd love to visit.
Yeah.
My wife and I are planning a trip to with my aunt, because my grandfather was Norwegian, and we have a lot of family in Norway, and so all of us are planning a trip to Norway probably around 2025, and so while we're there, we want to go visit everywhere we can. So we're going to take a month or two off so that we can really experience the UK and Ireland and Wales and just everywhere that we can, because it's probably the only time we'll ever get to be across the water. So
find that dream farm in Wales, Kaylin.
I know. I would love that. My wife would rather move to New Zealand though.
Like I said to you, I think it was last week. I don't blame her.
Yeah.
I'd rather
they don't let anybody in though.
No, they're very, very strict, aren't they, from what I've heard?
What about for lorry drivers?
It's needed here in America.
I would love to.
How did I know that was coming, Kaylin?
I know.
No.
Except it's interesting that you said that your lorries are different than ours. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize ours are so big compared to what you guys have.
Yeah, I think yours are certainly a lot longer than ours, because we've got all the EU laws and regulations that say that a vehicle can only be a certain length.
Yeah.
So I think your trucks are about 2 meters longer than ours.
Okay.
But it's also dictates where the steering is.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Where the actual lorry turns. And for me, it's a weird concept to drive a lorry where I have to turn before I pass the corner,
Yeah.
like in a car. Whereas at the moment, because I'm sat in front of the wheels, I turn after I've passed a junction or a corner or something, just to get it round. And it's just, I'll do it. I'll certainly give it a go and do it, but it's just getting that concept into my head that that's what I need to do.
Different style of driving into.
Yeah, it's funny because some of our fire trucks are like that on our fire department. Some of them have so your steering is right kind of either in front of or over the top of the steering wheels. And then we have 2 fire trucks where it's behind it. So or where you're far behind, like a regular semi truck. And so it's kind of, you have to remember which truck you're in when you're behind the wheel.
You don't want to forget and then go plowing past it and then start turning. It's like, oops.
Yeah.
I think it's also as well, you've got to remember the length of time that, say, the Americans will spend on the road, bear way for weeks, whereas generally UK lorry drivers aren't they?
Yeah.
I think the longest where any company in the UK would send anyone away for, unless they're driving on the continent, is 2 weeks.
Really?
I know there is some companies that will say, right, for the next 2 weeks you're in the truck, you get a week's worth of work, and then your weekend is your minimum you allow, which is 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're back at work again, and then you're off for 45 hours the following weekend, but you're back at home.
Yeah.
And then you're back at it again for another 2 weeks.
Don't confuse everyone with the driving laws. I'm still thrown by it till I'm married to you.
Yeah, it's a lot different here. It's the same with, so my aunt, she's in the helicopter industry, which to me I'm so jealous of because I have a huge fascination with helicopters, and I have ever since I was a little kid. And she was telling me that the laws in America for flying a helicopter are way more relaxed than even in Canada and other countries. And that's why we have more accidents.
Oh, yes. We can't speak for the helicopter, but I know quite a few, like the driving rules and everything, isn't it? Is what we can compare on. It's so much more relaxed over there, isn't it, compared to...
Yeah, I mean, I'd obviously have to take extra tests and whatnot to comply with the American laws, but I'm allowed to go and drive a truck in America, but someone who's got an American license isn't allowed to come to the UK and drive, not without taking our actual UK test, because ours is a lot more
comprehensive.
It's a lot more stringent. Having said that, though, we have a driver shortage.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
We have a severe driver shortage. And they are now, I don't know if they've done it or they're going to do it. They're on about removing certain parts of the test.
Really?
Things like reversing, which is something you do in your day-to-day life. You probably do it 10 times a day.
Yeah.
And they're on about stopping that in the test.
Really?
Coupling and uncoupling from the trailer, they're going to stop that. You can potentially do that 2 or 3 times in a day, every day. And one of the big things is with the coupling and uncoupling is the kingpin. No, the dog clip even. It's basically just like, is it a carabiner?
Yeah.
It looks like a carabiner. If that's not on, it's something like a £5,000 fine.
Wow. Just
for getting that one little clip. But then again, that is the thing that holds the trailer onto the unit, and if you've not put that on, you're liable to have your trailer come off.
You're driving at 60 mile an hour on a motorway or whatever you're speed limited to, then
56.
56, sorry, it's like, yeah, that can do some damage. Right, I'm just going to quickly intervene, gents, because chat is running away from me tonight. We have had some guesses as to what I'm making, so I will go through the chat and I will reveal.
What time is it?
It's 25 to 9. I'm nearly half an hour behind chat. Eric has guessed that I'm making a corset for Lewis. So Paul has got a multi-coloured stretchable one, Eric. And Quanaman has put, is the wool strong enough for that, Eric?
Can I put them out of misery?
What?
What you're actually
No.
making?
Quite fun to see their guesses. The user's made a very valid point. There are no straight lines in nature.
No, I know. Okay, I'll shut up.
Okay. Biggie has put, hey, they weren't just mocks, they were RAF mocks. Regulation which. Candygram for Mongo for you, Kaylin. I see some tabletop games on your shelf. I'm a big fan of them and have many. I've heard Wingspan is excellent, but I haven't played it.
So that's actually kind of funny. My wife is the one that is into games, and she, I think Wingspan was one. No, it was Everdell that I pre-ordered on Kickstarter for her, and I think she pre-ordered Wingspan before it even was released, and she helped back it. And so she's really into the games. And so she kind of collects them and tries to teach me how to play them. But to be honest, there's always so many and so many different rules. It's hard for me to keep up with her. But yeah, we do have a lot of games, and she loves Wingspan. She says it's one of her favorite games. There's different, I guess there's different add-ons for it as well.
I'm not familiar with the Wingspan, but from briefly what you just said, I have to admit, it sounds a bit like me. I like Warhammer, but the idea of the game, it's like, no, not for me. I quite happily build the models, but not actually gaming with them.
I don't know if there's actually models with it.
Right.
And they're like pre-bought, pre-made up.
What, pre-made up?
Yeah.
She did. I think Wingspan is one of the ones where she said that you can get a birdhouse for it and different things, and it's interesting. I don't really know all the details, unfortunately. I should.
Yeah, Model News, we have all the good stuff now. You do not want to start any arguments or anything like that. I think it's too much of a political and cultural difference that you have over there compared to us.
Oh, yes.
And it's very much that. It's like you see the houses they have over there, like the neighborhood. Some of the nice neighborhoods, it's like, oh, it'd be nice that you guys. Yes, you have extreme weathers, but like when it's summer, you have proper summer. And it's like
when you have Christmas, you have a proper Christmas.
Oh god, yeah, like 6 feet of snow, but it's too much.
I was thinking about the big Christmas trees and the decorations.
You would. But yeah, it's too. Yeah, there's too much big grey areas, shall we say.
That's why you should go with my idea.
And what's that?
Be a cowboy.
There you go.
you're out in the middle of nowhere, you've got a herd of cows or sheep or whatever, and, don't get involved with it all.
That's actually my wife's and my dream would be to just own a farm or a ranch and, not have to deal with everything else.
Oh, I must admit, it does sound nice. I won't say that though. You actually might call me sad here.
I'll call you sad regardless.
I actually grew up watching Dallas when I was little. Oh, I loved it. And I have to admit, when I was young, before I got to understand everything, the deeper side to America, it's like, you know what, I'd love to live in a house like on Ewing Ranch, so,
Don't know what you're looking at me for.
so much fun now.
Never seen the program.
Ewing Ranch, but yeah, I would love the house like that with all the land. It's like, it would be nice.
It would be.
Speedy, you're going to fall out with Speedy Lewis.
Why?
He's actually been to Pearl Harbor Memorial. Choose your words carefully.
I'll message you later, Speedy. No, I would like to ask for something, but I don't feel comfortable asking for them sort of things over a live stream.
Fair enough. So yes, so keep an eye on your inbox, Speedy. Muse, my Gramps was bearing that mess. He was Navy. He told me all about Okinawa.
Mm-hmm.
Paul, the HMCS Hader is docked here in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. And I said Canadian then. Canada. Marcy's put to Kaylin, you won't want to come back after your month away.
I have a feeling.
I tell you what, Kaylin, if you come over to the UK and you don't want to leave, give me your passport and I'll go.
There you go.
Oh God, no, I won't be that cruel to get him to live on East Lincolnshire coast. I'm not that cruel.
He don't have to live on East Lincolnshire coast, does he?
I know what I meant in my head. Let's move on quickly.
I think he would like his wife and everyone to stay with him.
Well, obviously.
No.
Some good advice from Speedy. Half good advice, but skip the UK and just head to the Scottish Highlands to avoid disappointment, Kayla. and then he corrects himself and put skip England, that should have said. I'm going to say.
I definitely do not want to go to London. There's no reason I would want to visit London.
I can give you one reason to visit London.
What's that?
HMS Belfast.
Ah, that's true. Where is the Victory at?
The Victory is Portsmouth.
Portsmouth?
Yeah.
So that's further south.
That's like London. Right at bottom of country.
Okay. It's going to be there for a long time, isn't it? Is it its permanent home?
Yeah, it's permanently dock. It's in dry dock there. Okay. Now, I don't know whether it's back open. I know a few years ago they had an incident where the masts and sails set alight. And it was closed for a long, long time due to renovation works. I don't know whether it's back open or not yet.
I'm sure you'll keep an eye out on that one.
But you've also got Portsmouth docks and everything there. That's a lovely place to visit.
Yeah.
See, my only sad thing is the British never kept any of their battleships. They sold all the battleships for scrap.
What's Belfast then?
Belfast is the only remaining what they class as a big gun ship, but she was a cruiser.
Fair enough.
You compare her guns to, say, the Missouri, and they're like little pea shooters. They're 6-inch guns.
Well, yeah.
And the Missouris are like 16-inch.
Yes. like I said before, Americans like big things.
But although there is one half British ship,
Right.
USS Texas.
Half.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because during the Second World War, she was sent over to Britain to serve with the British fleet.
Huh. I did not know that.
Yeah. And here's a bit of history for you. The British had to retrain all the American sailors.
Why?
Because the American sailors, especially on your big battleships, they would practice with the guns, but they would only practice in a flat, calm, perfect conditions. If there's anything like a ripple of a wave, they would stop the practice.
Oh, yeah.
The British, with the North Sea and the Atlantic, had no choice but to fire the guns in that scenario. So we had to retrain the American sailors on how to
Hi.
train the guns and everything.
Oh, fair enough. Stop fiddling yourself. Muse may have far less land to work with. Easier to walk over there. Lol. Gemma. So at 8:30, Gemma got a notification saying that I'm going live in 30 minutes, Nat. Okay.
What, the Gemma's going live in 30 minutes?
No, but I was going live.
Oh.
Eric loved the Brit who had a meltdown trying to wrap his head around how big Texas is. Even I struggle because it's a very strange concept, even to me, the fact that America's so big that you have different time zones in that one country.
Yeah. 3.
Wow.
I mean, it shouldn't be that hard. We do in Europe.
We do, but Europe is a continent.
Right.
America, in essence, is
What's the USA?
it's a country. It's not a continent.
Is it?
No.
Oh. It's a big island.
Yes.
That's what one thing I was wondering is how long would it take you to go from the top of the UK to like down to London or down even all the way down to the bottom? A couple hours or like 5, 6, 7, 8 hours?
Google is your friend.
Because then I can give you an idea of just how big we are, because it takes, so I'm originally from the Olympic Peninsula, which is the top of Washington State. It's that little section that kind of pops out at the top left of Washington State.
Mm-hmm.
And to drive, so if I go visit my sisters who still live there, it takes about 9 hours for me, and I'm at the top of California. If I was to go down to Mexico from where I live, it's like 14 hours. So
We can easily get from top to bottom in 14 hours.
I'll be darned. Wow. And that's the whole country.
Now, yeah. Go on.
From Land's End to John O'Groats.
So that's top to bottom.
Yeah. It's 15 and a half hours.
So yeah. That's
I like 14 and a half. If you take the diversion, it's 15 and a half. It's 14 and a half hours, shortest route.
Bottom.
Wow.
Yeah, we are quite a little country compared to yourselves. Let's have a look. Sorry, guys, I'm going to. We have got a Big Charlie's Model Garage. So, good evening.
Evening, Charlie.
So, welcome to my side of things. If you're from Lewis's channel,
Oh, you streamed it to me as well.
I did indeed. Apologies. I'm just sifting through.
I'm just going to go shout at a couple of kids.
And here's something though you won't agree with from Eric. UK has cooler cars.
Cooler cars?
Cooler as in look better, or as in like?
I would say cooler as in look better.
Yeah. Yeah. Eric, Dexter's unplug the compressor. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'll get Lewis to see if he can do something else. Sorry if I've missed you, Muse. Have to get ready for work soon. Not a problem. Thank you very much, Muse, and we shall see you very soon.
Bye, Marcy.
Marcy, a ranch is a huge amount of money and work. I can sort of see that, but I think, you know, you're out in the open, you're working the land, and it's if it's something you want to do, it'd be nice.
Yeah. I actually used to raise cattle. We used to show them at fairs, miniature pulled Herefords, and that's like you basically get, you know, when you're running a ranch or a farm like that, everything that you do, you're kind of married to that farm, and which in my mind is perfect, because you know you're not answering to everybody else really. It's like you work for yourself, and it's kind of you take things that life is a little bit slower paced, I think.
Yeah.
It's a lot of hard work. Yeah, definitely. But in the end, I think that it pays off better because you're doing it for yourself and for your own mental health and well-being.
No,
because
absolutely.
It's something you enjoy doing.
Absolutely. Shut the door. Just quickly. Lewis. Shane's just put, don't forget Cutty Sark at Greenwich, Lewis.
Yeah. Cutty Sark, Greenwich, London.
And Eric's put, so it's now that type of show. Lewis and Kaylin comparing their guns.
Kaylin wins, he's American. They have bigger guns than us.
Oh, really? Speeding from the Scottish Highlands to Yorkshire is 10 hours without stops. So that's about half the UK. Yeah, and like Speedy says...
Coming down the M72 onto the A6 and across the A66 to Yorkshire.
Yeah, but I think Speedy's made a very interesting point, because obviously our motorways are limited to 70 miles per hour. So obviously, if you didn't get to do the lovely speeds that you do, how long would it actually take you to get from place to place, really?
It varies. You can go from 60 miles an hour speed limits to 70, and then some states have faster speed limits, but not Oregon, Washington, and California.
I like the autobahns in Germany.
Yes, you're
I
trying to...
would always have loved to drive on one of those.
Yeah, no speed limit. My brother-in-law and my sister used to live in Germany for a few years. My brother-in-law is part of the RAF. And they had a roof box on the car, which was limited. It then limited the car to 80 mile an hour. And they said it was so dangerous going down the autobahns at 80 because everyone's just coming flying past you. And you're stuck at 80 because you don't want your roof box to go flying off. Because you're going so slow, they said it was just dangerous.
Wow.
which I can understand because I've had people in the lorry pull out on me from a slip road on the motorways and stuck at 40 mile an hour. And it's like slowing 44 ton from 56 mile an hour down to 40. It takes some effort.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Quanaman. Marcy's put to you, Kaylin. Kaylin, you drive slow, dude. Lol.
Yeah. I do actually. It's just I think part of my deal is I've seen so many accidents and had to work on so many different accidents. I'm not in a hurry anywhere I go.
So get there.
Get there in one piece.
Absolutely. Quanaman, I've done from the top of Scotland to the bottom of England in 14 hours on a bike.
Wow.
Was walking like John Wayne at the end of that trip.
I bet.
Spiddy, pissed myself laughing that. But shut the door, Lewis, was proper Yorkshire lass. Yeah, I can't do it. I do it out of habit, but if I'm copying it, I can't do it. But yeah, every now and then my Yorkshire twang does come back.
Bloody northern monkey.
Aye. Let's have a look. Eric, we're limited to 70 on the interstate here in Indiana, but people pass you doing 90.
Oh yeah.
I see a video on Facebook today. It was hilarious. Going down the motorway, 60 mile an hour. There's a van in the middle of the road doing 60 mile an hour. And there's a truck or another van or whatever coming up the inside of him. Wondering why he's sat in the middle lane going so slow. And then you sat there thinking, he needs to get a move on, people's undertaking him now, he's becoming a danger. And then you get round to the front of this van and you just see this duck flying in front of the van in the centre lane. It's like, that's why he's not going any faster. And this duck just weren't moving, it was just going straight flying down the centre lane, 60 mile an hour.
Literally in line with windscreen, weren't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not something you see every day. Some more facts from Spiddy. Another point is between Skye and Glasgow, there's no motorway. So theoretically, top speed is 60 miles per hour on maybe 3/4 of the road, but realistically, an average of 40 to 45 is more like it. Yeah.
Yep. And if you're in a truck, the speed limit is 40 miles an hour. Unless you're on a dual carriageway, then it's 50.
It's 200 miles to Glasgow, where I collect my son, 250 miles to Sheffield. Both legs take the same amount of time due to roads.
Here's a fact for you.
Go on.
You can't get from London to Scotland only using motorways without going through Spaghetti Junction.
You can't get from London
to Scotland,
right,
by only using motorways,
right,
and not going through Spaghetti Junction.
Spaghetti Junction, Birmingham.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, because that's an A road, isn't it?
What, the A1M?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not. Oh no, yeah, because that's not motorway. Yeah.
Not all the way. To some of the way, but it goes into an A road. Hence why it's called the A1M.
So if you was to literally just use motorways, you would literally have to go there to go.
You have to go from London to Spaghetti Junction,
which is Birmingham.
Yeah, and then up to Scotland.
Flipping heck.
You can't do it without going through Spaghetti Junction by only using motorways.
Well,
And it'll probably take you 6 hours to get around the M25.
Yeah. So yes, it's definitely much nicer roads in the north, Caelan, I will say that. The only problem is the road quality gets worse the further north you go.
Yeah.
And smaller.
Yeah, and smaller. Yes, as my poor car feels since the kids' schools, since Connor and Page School has gone more rural. Yeah.
There's no wrong with that road.
Tell that to my car.
It's because you go belting down it.
Belting down it. And I can prove it now. We've got the ruddy dash cam fitted.
Yeah, it always kind of amazed my wife and I how many foreign countries were using dash cams before we started using them here in America. And now it's like it's a lifesaver when it comes to insurance and proving things.
Oh, yes.
I must admit, one of the previous companies I worked for, they had a forward-facing dash cam. The one I currently work for at the moment has forward, side, and in-cab cameras.
Mm-hmm.
This previous company, I caught something, so it was almost comical. It could make you cry if you loved cars, but it was so comical. I was coming round a roundabout. I was taking the first exit. And it was a big roundabout. There was 4 lanes onto it. And the first 3, you had to come off at the first 2, you had to come off at the first exit. So I was in the left-hand lane. There was a car in the lane next to me. And the third lane, you could either come off at the first exit or go round to the second exit. Well, there was me, a car in either lane next to me, and the lights turned to green, so I went, and this car come belting past me. I then, checking my mirrors to see that it's safe to come off, heard a screech of tyres, looked up, and the car in the lane next to me decided he was going to go straight on instead of taking the first exit. And the car in the third lane took the first exit. So the car in the second lane hit the car in the third lane and spun him off, which wouldn't be too bad, except the car in the third lane was a Ferrari.
Oh.
Yeah.
And it's like I caught the whole lot on the dash cam. And
Wow.
that guy's insurance certainly had a bad day that day.
No kidding.
I've just noticed, Eric, Spaghetti Junction looks like fun.
It's not.
So Spiddy's put only fun if you're an extreme masochist. Thank you. So I'm going to very quickly, now bear in mind this is not my picture, it's just one that I found on Google. I will quickly show you. That is Spaghetti Junction.
Oh my gosh. Wow. That's like in Texas. They have motorways like that in Texas.
Yeah, I know it's a bit smaller, but yeah, this is Spaghetti Junction at Birmingham. It is absolutely horrendous.
Get used to it because that's where you're going to be driving.
No. Yes, no. Let me refrain that. I will go that way when we go to Telford. You are driving on the way back from Telford.
Why?
Because to get to Telford, so from here to Telford, it takes 3 hours, 5 minutes according to Google. Okay? So for us to get to Telford for 8:30 to be there ready for 9 o'clock start, we said we have to leave here about 5, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
So in theory, it shouldn't be that busy. In theory. No, but you laugh. on the way back, we don't have to check out till 10 o'clock. So you're going to be hitting dinner, early afternoon traffic.
Yeah, and we're going to be leaving at 3 o'clock.
No, we're not. We've got to pick the kids up at 3 o'clock.
No, we're going to be leaving at 3 o'clock in the morning.
No, we're flipping not. Not from Telford, we're not.
Yeah, we are.
No, we're really not.
You don't really think I want to be driving through that mess?
Yes. Speedy, the school's gone more rural. Did they pick it up and move it further into country, that?
Further into country?
I think with his school, with some schools around here, yeah, it's very much. Oh, it's, yeah, just plonk it there. But it's nice, actually, because it's just like a little village school where Connor and Paige go. And
It's not like a village school.
Oh,
it is a
little
village school.
And Quanaman has put with Spaghetti Junction. It would be more fun if it was converted into water slides, Eric.
Do you know what I think they should do with the whole country? Now, I think this is a really, really good idea.
Oh, God. Brace yourself, everyone.
They should tarmac the whole country.
Why?
It would just be so much easier, especially for lorry drivers. Take away weight restrictions, low bridges, width restrictions, just tarmac everywhere.
Jeff, we have something almost as intricate as Spaghetti Junction. Look up Texas High Five Interchange. I used to drive it daily. I was absolutely terrified the first several times. So look, Texas High Five Interchange. Texas High Five Interchange. Oh my good Lord.
My wife was just in and says hello.
Hello.
Hello, Kaylin's wife.
She actually has a day job.
Oh, she has a more normal work pattern, does she?
Yes.
Could you do me a favour, Kaylin?
Yeah.
Get your wife to explain to mine what a day job is.
Excuse me.
She doesn't like it, but
So this is the junction that Jeff was on about. That's their Texas High Five Junction. Oh my good word.
is that the one in Texas?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Texas High Five.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my good grief.
It's insane. And what's crazy, so when I was 8 years old, we were there visiting family for a wedding. And I remember being on that interchange and seeing lightning like flashing down everywhere. It was crazy. It's really high up in the air, some of it.
No, again, I was saying that I've not really had. I think the highest thing I've ever had to drive. Oh no, I nearly said the Humber Bridge, but I've done that M62 at Manchester, haven't I? When we went to Carlisle. No, when we went to Lake District. Isn't it something like the highest motorway in the UK?
Yeah, but that's on the ground.
It's still going up.
It's not though. It's like going over a hill.
So probably the Humber Bridge then.
The Humber Bridge for you,
The
yeah.
highest I've done. That was high enough.
I don't know which is higher, Humber Bridge or Dartford. Either way, I've done them both.
Did I do Dartford?
No, I did. You complained, oh, I'm tired, I've not slept properly.
That's right down the bottom.
Oh, I can't do it. Can you drive for me?
Yeah, because I hadn't had enough sleep.
Yeah. I'd had the same amount of sleep as you and still drove further.
You're a lorry driver. Get on with it. Eric. No, wrong one. Nat's face realising they're leaving at 3 a.m. Absolutely priceless. It's more a case of, because I'm well aware the Saturday of Telford, it is going to be like a 3 o'clock start to make sure we actually leave on time. So I knew about that one, but I thought, actually, you know what? Monday, the kids are all sorted. We're actually booked away for 2 nights for Telford. So I thought, actually, you know what? We can actually have a nice lay-in in the hotel, have some breakfast, get off late. Like, so we'd have to leave, check out for about 10, 11 o'clock. But I think someone's got other ideas if we're leaving that flipping early. Spiddy, Dartford's a tunnel. It's lower.
Actually, Dartford Crossing.
I know there's a bridge too, but couldn't resist. In brackets.
Oh. Okay. The Queen Elizabeth Bridge.
Thank you.
If you want to get pedantic.
Eric, try the Skyway in Chicago going over the Sag Canal. I hope I said that right. Skyway in Chicago.
I'll just say, I am actually scared of heights. And even going over the Queen Elizabeth Bridge, I closed my eyes.
When Seattle first installed the big Ferris wheel, a couple of my friends and I went on it, and I'm kind of afraid of heights too. And when it first went round, I was very, very nervous. And then finally, when you kind of start coming back down, it's not so bad. But I don't think it's anywhere near the height of the London Eye. I think the London Eye is taller.
Yeah, the London Eye, I know it used to be, I don't know if it still is, it used to be the biggest Ferris wheel in the world.
Yeah.
Probably not.
I bet it's not cheap to take a ride on it, too.
I don't think it's that bad, to be honest.
It's owned by Coca-Cola, so a bit expensive.
The London Eye is owned by Coca-Cola?
Well, last I heard, yeah. It's owned by Coca-Cola.
Last I heard, it was owned by British Airways.
Oh, owned by Merlin Entertainment.
Do you know who Merlin Entertainments are?
Alton Towers.
Yep. At least they can't crash into each other.
Online, so it's £27 per adult for the London Eye if you book online, or on the day it is £33.50 per adult for half an hour. Wow.
That's not too bad, I guess.
No. Took many girls on London Eye.
And yet you've never actually took me into London yet.
No. I married you. If you want to go, get yourself off.
That's fine. I'll get train tickets sorted. Yeah, I think Eric's just put, it's actually over the Calumet River. Yeah, I think now you put that, I think I did find it, and it's like, how on earth is it still standing?
Great American Engineering.
Well, it just, look at that.
Oh, wow.
Finished.
Of course it does.
It looks very industrial. It does look nice, but it doesn't look finished.
Looks like a proper old railroad.
It does. It looks like the old, like rail style bridges.
Yeah.
That's cool. I've never seen that.
Oh, and we have got David Scott, aka Scotty, join us, saying evening also. Good evening, Scotty.
Evening, David. Are you allowed in?
Behave yourself. Okay. So yes, and I apologise. I realised I've not actually told everyone what I'm making.
Can I have a guess?
Go on.
Willy warmer.
Hey, those are a thing.
Yeah.
Thank you for that picture in my mind, Caleb.
I see one the other day at the start of Peppa Pig.
Oh.
Oh God, where's this going? Yes, you did see one looking like Peppa Pig, didn't you? Thank you, Lewis. So yes, it is a hat for Connor I'm making.
You're not going to look at it the same way now.
No, I'm not.
Connor, what are you wearing a willy warmer for?
Scottish wishful thinking there, Lewis. Oh, this is going down the palm.
Hey, I never said it was for me. I won't ever boast that much.
Connor Mount's put, ha ha ha, I've been dying to say that from the start, Lewis. Flipping it, you've actually been...
Refrain from
Yeah.
nonsense.
And Gemma's put, Merlin is a company that runs different attractions in and around London, and you can get money-saving deals from them.
Yep.
Oh, I am surprised. Well, like I say, when someone actually gets round to actually taking me to London, then I might actually have a nosy.
Get yourself off.
That's fine. Weekend away in London, leave you with the kids.
Do you know what? I'd actually go for that.
Blimey.
Because I've been in London many a times.
Well, yeah, you've driven it, but I wouldn't really drive it. It'd be a case of train there and I'd try and find my way around the underground. I know, I've got a better idea.
Oh, God.
That's fine. I just hired Gemma as my personal one-to-one guide. So, blimey, 9:20. So, what I will do is I will head over to a groove. I wish I have a nosy. What's there? She says when I catch find my own woody group. Just bear with me. But what I'll do is I'm gonna just swap the cam to Lewis. But yeah, while I get the group sorted, I'll leave you boys to chat.
Why? Because you're not prepared.
Nope.
Host not prepared yet again.
No, Joseph having.
She blames you because she said you're the host tonight.
I'm not that brave.
If I was the host, it would all be ready, buddy.
Because you're that good.
Oh, yes.
That was my favorite comment you made.
Why is Facebook not working?
I don't know. Why is Facebook not
I have
working?
no idea.
You busted.
Oh, don't say Facebook's down again.
Need to switch to a smaller paintbrush, but I don't want to.
A bit too much extra effort for you, Kaylin.
Well, usually when I'm painting, I have my little, especially with this small of a scale, I have my little goggles on, and I didn't feel like putting them on right now.
Here we are. So I'll just put that down. Alright. Right. There we are. And there we are. So for any people watching for the first time, welcome to the Dexterous Crafters group.
Full apologies if you are watching for the first time.
Oh, shut up. So the first post that I'm going to start with tonight is David Scott. The Dragon Wagon chassis, sorry, it's almost done. Chassis. Almost done in 1/35th scale. It's coming together nicely. And that is me sharing a link. Something new for all my modeler followers. James Skiffins, aka the Model Officer, has created his own online modelling store. Just remembered, can you please post the link in the chat for the Dutch 48-hour group build? Please. Thank you. I know I'm asking you to do modern technology stuff and it's a bit difficult, but if you could kindly do it. Yes, so Model Officer has created his own online modelling store, so please pop along to show your support. And it is the Sprue Box. So yes, safe to say, Lewis has very much been warned because Lewis has seen, lots of things that he would like, but it's just reminding now, anything he spends now comes out of his Telford money. So he's having to be a good boy in a minute. And David Scott, the rear chain drive is done. Has that all been weathered, Scotty? I don't know if it's weathering over light, but if you've weathered it, wow, you are getting into it. And that is me sharing a link for the Just Making Conversation podcast. Again, I know I go on about this nearly every fortnight that I share a post, but if you haven't already, it is a huge giggle. It is brilliant to listen to. And it's due to be released this coming Monday. The season finale, it's been going on for a year. It's like, oh my good Lord, where's that year gone? And this is Speedy. He is sharing his next video. He is doing the Iron Man by D'Agostini. Part 31 to 34, doing the left knee and thigh. So please head along and show some support. And this is Frankie. Maybe this photo from a family photo album can explain my love to the old opals. This is his uncle in front of his opal in the late 70s. 4 adults plus 2 children in this comfy car, and I really enjoyed the ride. Wow. Well, cozy definitely comes to mind, Frankie. And Speedy, that's 35 to 38. I take it you've got some catching up to do, Speedy. And you know what? While I've got him, Caelan can do his own talking.
So this is actually the part 1 of the video for the model I'm painting right now, the LKW. I don't really know what that even means. I need to do some research on it. It's the 5-ton military 4x4 truck by Rebelle, and it's in 1/72nd scale. And this one is going to become part of a diorama down the road that I'm going to be doing with a couple of other 1/72nd scale kits that I'm working on. Just kind of something fun. to experiment with.
And I
Part 2
think,
will be out pretty soon.
ooh. I think it's nice to have something, like say, fun and different to build every now and then.
Yeah, it gets monotonous sometimes doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, so someone keeps finding with photo etch, yet someone keeps going back to doing photo etch.
Oh, photo etch is the future.
And this is Julian, the Warhammer Age of Sigmar, Gedanstra, the Celestial Spear. This
No
is
idea what any
all
of
the
that is.
sprue. And this is built up. Yes, I have to admit, it is. It's very nice seeing Julian's pictures because I still remember when Julian first saw my Warhammer. He's like, "Oh, well, that looks interesting. Look at that." He's like, "Oh, it looks nice," but he was convinced he wasn't going to fall down the rabbit hole of Warhammer. And it was only yesterday I was talking to him, and he finally admitted he has fallen down that rabbit hole. I knew you would. That's absolutely looking amazing, Julian. And this is Scotty for the Dragon Wagon. So this is a Tamir Sherman in 1/35th scale. Oh, look at all them tracks he's going to have.
You know what? I've always said I love doing photo etch. I love building ships. Ships can be very, very repetitive
Yeah.
with the stuff you have to do, and I love it. Love doing it.
Yeah, there's something about it.
Yeah, but I cannot stand building tracks.
I have yet to go into track building. I'm going to be building a tank here pretty soon, though, and so I've heard mixed things about track.
The best type of track is a rubber band track, in my opinion.
And you've probably thrown him.
So basically, it's made out of rubber and it's all made up for you. You just get a staple either end, staple the two ends together, job done.
So it's basically lazy tracks.
Yep.
Fair enough. Your turn again, Caitlin.
Let's see. Oh, so that's advertising the Agora Models fire truck that I'm going to be building on the website. So since, I'm here, I might as well explain a little bit. So for those of you that don't know, I am a firefighter, and the department that I work for, we are actually all volunteer firefighters. And we do get paid a little bit, that it's like $8 a call. And we have a museum that houses some of our very first fire trucks. And when Agora Models announced that they were going to be putting out the New York Fire Truck Ladder 9, I jumped on it, and I'm going to be donating the one that I'm building to our fire museum. And that build will obviously be on the channel, but then my fire chief thought it would be a cool idea to do a fundraiser for the fire department. And so I am actually going to be building a second fire truck as a commission for the benefit that we do every year. We haven't been able to do it the last few years, but because of COVID, but I'm going to build a second fire truck that will be auctioned off at our annual benefit dinner to raise funds for our fire department. And So this is kind of the introduction to that because I just got notified it's in the mail.
Oh, that is a fantastic idea, Caitlin.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's we're trying to decide how exactly it's going to look when we're done with it. My chief would like to have me also build a replica of one of our newer fire engines, engine 412, and I'm trying to find a model that is similar so that I can build it and modify it.
Wow. This will keep you out of trouble.
Yeah.
Well, Nat, being Nat, has just done a bit of Googling, and I take my hat off to you, Kaylin. You get paid $8 a call out.
Yeah. So like last night with the propane explosion that leveled a house here in town, we're there for the entirety of the fire, which is hours, and we get $8 for it.
Just to put that into context for us English, that is
£5.34.
£5.34.
So hang on, so that $8 you got paid, it's not even like an hour you're there, it's $8 whether you're there an hour, 12 hours, whatever.
Correct. The only thing we get paid by the state and by the federal government is wildfires. We get paid, so during the summertime we can make a lot of money fighting forest fires because they pay us by the day.
I take my hat off to you, buddy.
For such a dangerous job, and in essence you're getting paid pennies to put your life at risk. Yeah.
And it's sad that we don't have, for a town we have 7,000 people in this town, and we only have about 12 or 16 firefighters. I can't remember what we're up to now. We just got a couple new recruits. So it's kind of sad that people aren't invested in their community anymore.
Yeah, and in all fairness, I think I can safely say that counterloose with both sides of the pond.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've heard it's a kind of a worldwide thing. Because there's actually, I think, volunteer fire departments make up 80% of all fire departments in the world.
Wow. Very ridiculous. But no, I will keep an eye out for this, and you're more than welcome to, Kaylin, but especially for this, any links that you want to share, any fundraising things or anything, then please feel free to put it up in the group, and obviously every week I'll do the pimping for you.
Awesome, thank you.
I think that is it for now, so I will just do a quick refresh. It says, come on, Facebook. Yep, so that is everything for the gallery for this week. So a massive, massive thank you. What I will quickly do is, because we are very, very... Are you in or out? It's getting cold.
Roasting.
So what I will do is, because it's very, very nearly November, so I'm going to go through these, because what Kaylin didn't know, as I have only just decided, is I'm going to put Kaylin on the spot a little bit.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I can. It's in the small print that I forgot to send him. So yes, because I've got in the group, we've got posted Kelly with her, I presume it's a Jester diamond art. We have got Roran's Lego build, so that's Ross's little boy.
That's cool.
Ross Medlock himself, the Sequest DSV Deep Ocean Transport. We've got Mark Ewing with his dwarf bust.
So I have a question. So Mark from Edinburgh or Edinburgh? How do you say it?
Edinburgh.
Edinburgh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I
Yes,
love
that's Mark's Edinburgh
He does
modelling
wonderful
ranking.
work.
Oh, absolutely. Mark Shallard with his pumpkin.
That's cute.
Lisa with her sock snowman.
Oh, how cool.
So, thanks to Lewis, because Lewis has gone out and evened all the votes for me. So, just to put Kaylin in the hot seat, I'm actually going to ask Kaylin to pick this month's banner of the month, please.
That's
That's a tough one. I don't know. Mark's dwarf bust is really cool. They're all very, very good submissions, and I love that little snow sock, man. But I think I'm gonna have to go with Kelly. I like that.
With which one, sorry?
The one at the top,
With Jessica.
the jester. Yeah, that's really cool.
Thank you very much. So, yes, so well done, Kelly. I will get the banner done. And Kelly, you will be my banner of the month for November. So thank you very much, Kelly. And a massive thank you, Kaylin. I know that was a bit nasty.
No, it's okay.
So let me I'm going to quickly go through the comments and then we shall see what the boys have been up to. Spiddy, I'll take you to London, Nat, as long as you come and collect me and do the driving there and back. No. Gemma, you'd have to be up for a lot of walking, Nat, as the London Underground isn't that accessible for us wheelies. That's fine. I'll just fit some pegs on back of your wheelchair, Gemma. That's fine.
Some pegs.
Or just like how we see on BMX bikes.
What? So you can ride on back of a wheelchair?
Yeah.
Lazy son.
Question for you, Kaylin. Where in the US are you from?
So I currently live in Wairika, California, but I'm originally from Forks, Washington. I grew up in Forks and Port Angeles when I was a little kid. My dad was stationed there with the Coast Guard.
Yeah, definitely a job that another job that Lewis would love to do, Coast Guarding.
Yeah, which is funny. It's kind of the I think part of the reason why I became a boat captain for a long time was because of where I grew up and my love for the ocean and the water.
I love the water.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
I love boats and ships. Being this previous job again, it was doing the containers off the docks.
oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
And it's actually become quite dangerous because I would look at the ships rather than looking at the road. I annoyed a few people as they went past beeping the horn at me because I was on the wrong side of the road.
Just what I want to hear when you're driving a 44-ton truck.
It's not my fault. They moored the ships up next to where I was driving.
Oh, I'm sorry. If ever you go back to that job, I'll give him advance notice. Don't park when Lewis is about to come and
drop off and collect some containers.
Exactly.
He's done it for me. So that is the link. That's half right. So yeah, it's a Dutch 48-hour build to raise money for models for vets. I went far off.
Yeah, so it's the Netherlands version of Models for Heroes
Oh, okay.
that Malcolm Child runs across here. They run it across there, and they're doing a 48-hour marathon build. To raise money. I took part in James Skiffin's one on model officers.
Back in March when
48-hour build, and some of them come and joined us on ours, and what they did was just phenomenal. They had dioramas, lighting, and there was us with our little 148. Well, I say little. Mine was a 148 scale Superbug, which is a Super Hornet. So it weren't exactly little, but compared to what they had done, it's like, yeah.
almost made it look like you just had a little quick build type thing, didn't you?
Needless to say, I gave the model to the kids, and they've destroyed it.
We soon heard the airplane noises.
And the crashing.
Yeah. Spiddy has put thank you. And he's put yes. Lol, yes. I had 2 months worth due to watch work for people and my October holes with my boy. Don't blame me. Family comes first. Scotty. Oh, Nat. Got my first set of Space Marines and Necrons. Oh. I look forward to seeing them Necrons. Scotty disagreeing. He's put, no! Metal tracks are the best. Build and pin.
No, rubber band.
Scotty spent a few months in Washington State working for the Seahawks at Safeco Field.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, what's Quantum Man got? Question. If we Brits drive on the right side of a road, doesn't that mean the Americans are driving on the wrong side of the road?
I agree with that statement. So I have a question about that, actually. When was it decided that you guys would drive on the other side? Has it always been that way?
Go on, you're older than me, Lois. Shane, if you're still in chat, respectfully.
We've always drove on the right side of the road since I've been old enough to remember. We drive on the right side of the road because it's the right.
Yeah, it's the right side.
So is there actually no...
I don't know.
Oh, you actually sounded confident like you knew the answer. Right is right.
I thought he would give me a good reply.
I thought that was a good reply.
It's adequate, yeah.
I don't know why we drive on the right side of the road, just because it's right.
I did hear that, I don't know what country it was, but they decided to switch at one point, and it really confused people for years.
Probably Ireland.
They're confused anyway, right?
Yeah. I know when you go down Southampton, Dover way, the amount of signs you saying keep left, keep left.
Huh.
We drive on the left side of the road.
We do, yes.
And you guys have a lot smaller lanes
Yeah.
in some areas.
Oh, yes, especially when you're coming up against tractors.
Oh, yeah.
Or lorries.
I'll have to impress with Scotty then, because he put in the 1930s, traffic used to have to be escorted by a man walking on the right of the car. Hence, we drive on the right.
Really?
And then same as Lewis, he's just twigged left. Sorry.
Yeah, we drive on the left. Dan. Dan saying it was Italy that switched and they had gridlock for years.
Oh.
But Dan doesn't know what side of the road we drive on, so we drive on the left, Dan.
Yeah, we drive on the left-hand side. Because doesn't
Australia
Australia also drive on the left?
Yes, they do.
Because if I remember rightly...
But they all came from the UK, didn't they?
Yes,
Yeah.
because it was all our prisoners at one point. All our
convicts.
political prisoners, was it? I'm actually being serious.
Convicts. There are everyone and anyone.
Fair enough.
Spiddy's got it for you then, Kaylin. This is why we drive on the left.
We drive on the left due to motorbikes being right-hand drive. I'm confused even more now.
Motorbikes are right-hand drive. Put the face cam on, please.
Quanaman, I'm on a bike, so I just go right down the middle.
There you go.
So yes, anyway, we are coming up to 10 to 10. So we're going to go around the guys to start with. I'll start with Lewis. Kaylin's getting tidied up. What have you been up to, Lewis? Apart from annoying everyone with the noise.
I was priming, but then I got told it was too noisy, so I stopped.
And was there nothing quieter you could have done?
No. So, I've got that primed. A bit primed. The two rear turrets. And, I have a question for Kaylin, actually. And the rear quarterdeck housing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, and both the cranes are primed, ready to go.
Oh, just be careful, you make me nervous.
Why? You see, when you do it, once you built it up and primed it, it don't look any different.
Isn't that the idea?
Yeah, I know, but it's like you put all that work in the photo etch and it just looks like plastic.
Well, we do have this conversation nearly every single time you complete a model with photo etch. So go on, what's your question to Kaylin before I switch over to Kaylin?
It's about ships again, Kaylin.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't the US have many ships that had twin turrets at the rear?
Because we were always chasing after everybody. I don't know. That's actually a good question. The battle groups, from my understanding, the battleships had had different ships behind them to protect them, and so their main focus was to be one of the lead ships. That's my understanding at any rate.
Yep, no, that makes sense. I don't know. It was a question I see on Facebook, and I was like, oh, that's a very good question, actually.
Yeah, because when you look at how the Navy had assembled their fleets, there's probably in any battle group there's maybe 15 to 20 different ships all spread out, moving in a formation when they're in wartime. Right now, I mean, we're cutting back on a lot of our ships, and a lot of them, they still move protected by other vessels, but not as much during wartime. They'll move in a group. And the aircraft carriers are the most heavily protected.
Yeah. Yeah, because they don't have any. Them themselves don't have any real defensive
No.
capabilities.
The only thing defensive on them is their aircraft.
Yeah. And if they're all off on sorties and you've got other ships in the vicinity, enemy ships in the vicinity, they don't have much in the way of protection for themselves. I know they have like your phalanx, and I know they still have the Sea Whiz and whatnot. They do have a few things, but not like what a destroyer or a frigate will have, or even a submarine.
Yeah.
Okay, so Caelan's been busy tonight.
So this is actually two different models. That these are both 1/72nd scale. The other one that I'm working on is the UH-60 Blackhawk, and I started hand painting the interior because that's always like the first thing that has to go in before you put the fuselage together. And then I've got my little LKW 4x4 truck, which I'm actually kind of happy with the wheel color. It's a little glossier than I'd like, but we'll see. And I just right now I'm just going to focus on painting both of these kits up and trying to get them out on the channel. And I'm not going to go crazy with trying to get anything accurate because, again, this is going into a diorama that'll just be kind of a fun diorama.
Look forward to seeing their progress.
Thank you.
So
It's been fun to say the least. It's been kind of a fun little build, as much as I gripe about losing little parts.
I think every modeler can. I'd say every modeler and every crafter actually can share that sentiment with you.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine if you dumped, like, the little thing. What are those things called that you put into your that I don't know. I can't remember what you called it. The little sheet that you put the little.
My diamond art.
Yeah, the diamond art. Like, I couldn't imagine having to pick those up if you dropped them.
Not that she's done that recently.
Although actually, if someone had actually come to my rescue with that.
Oh God.
Well, no, it's literally like some tights, and you sort of put the tights. So say like that's a Hoover pipe.
That's the Hoover pipe.
Oh man!
So put your tights over it, and obviously as it sucks the tights up, the tights catch the gems. Oh God help me!
That's the Hoover pipe. That's a bit of wishful thinking, love. That's what that is.
That's why my wife doesn't. This was her office and her craft room and sewing room, and I kind of took it over because it's too hot or too cold in the shop for me to do anything. And but ever since I've kind of moved in here, she won't vacuum in here, and I only sweep because I know I'm going to find parts that went pinging off in all directions. Because I know if I vacuum, I'll lose it forever.
Oh yes, it's always the risk we run in here into. It's like literally checking every speck. It's like, yeah, nothing there, nothing definitely there before Hoover.
Yeah.
Speedy, question for Lewis. Why are there big ships with aeroplanes on, but not big seaplanes with little boats on?
There is.
Is there?
Yep.
Go on.
Every plane has a boat on.
Is that like what they land on, in essence?
What? It's called a runway.
No, the seaplanes. Could you not argue with them little things?
Floats?
Yeah.
No. You know when an airline crashes in the water and they deploy the slides out the doors.
Mm.
When it's on water, what do they become? Rafts.
Oh, did it?
Little boat. Oh, for God's sake.
I can't say I've ever watched any plane crashing videos, but I should never get me on a bloody plane again.
You never seen Sully
No.
crashing into the Hudson?
I couldn't watch that.
I've
No.
never seen it.
No.
But there is always some sort of flotation device, aka little boat on a plane.
I've seen bushcraft carrying kayaks and rafts.
There we go.
Not one boat, like lots of little ones that take off into water. Eric, wow, I just came back in at wrong time, that inserts. Yeah, definitely wrong time.
Yeah.
Spiddy, my ex had a jewellery shop which started as a home business, and my workshop is what used to be her first room. I still, after 10 years, find seed beads when I vacuum. I can believe that. And Spiddy, watch Sully Nat, it's really good. Yeah, I've never actually seen it, actually. No, I've definitely not seen it. I've seen the adverts. And last one before we start finishing, Candygram for Mongo. I think there was a Japanese submarine that carried a small plane.
Yeah, the Japanese during the Second World War was testing a submarine that would also convert into an aircraft carrier.
Really?
Yep. It was basically two submarines bolted together with a big hangar spanning the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't work.
Fair enough.
Didn't work.
Couldn't imagine why.
I think it could hold something like two planes.
Wow.
I always wanted to see, you know how on some of the battleships and stuff, the planes that, like on the Bismarck and stuff, did they lower those to the water before they took off, or did they actually take off?
No, they had a catapult. Majority of Second World War battleships, I can actually show you. Majority of Second World War battleships had seaplanes on them, and they were used for spotting other battle groups, other ships and everything.
Just wish
That includes the Belfast. Are you on camera?
Yep.
So if we put, oh,
don't.
no, I don't need them bits. So put that in like that. That's in. That's in. And get this back. So on the back here, you've got two hangar doors.
Mm-hmm.
That would sit there, and they would come out across here, and this is where your catapult is.
Okay.
And this would protrude over the end, over the side of the ship, and they'd launch it with basically rockets strapped to the sides, the underneath of the wings, and they'd launch it off the side. It would go off doing its spotting and everything, and then for recovery, it had floats on the bottom of it, so it would land in the water, and then you'd have your crane to recover the plane and put it back up.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's amazing, like just how much stuff they put into all of the old ships and stuff as well.
Yeah, I mean, after time, they took out the seaplanes because with the evolution of radar and everything, they become redundant. They didn't need them. They were taking up room and weight and space on board the ship that they could put to better use in either armor or armament, things like that. So they did get rid of the majority of them. I mean, the Belfast had hers removed You can still see now to this day where the catapult was, and the hangar bay is now the Woolworths Cafe on board the ship.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
because they had a Woolworths seaplane, so they named it the Woolworths Cafe.
Huh. That's cool.
Yeah.
So one last thing, kind of give everybody a sneak peek too, that some people are waiting for this to be released on my channel as well, is the completion of the Land Rover, which is one of my favorite vehicles of all time, the Land Rover Series 3. But I managed to get the clear shot on it yesterday. And this is I ended up kind of making a satin clear. And see if you guys can see that. But I screwed up on the door there. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and keep it. Because I don't know. I didn't know what else to do. But otherwise, I'm really happy with it's a little darker than they were in true form. But I figured if I ever actually owned one of these, I would like this color. It's kind of cool. But yeah, we're making good progress on the Land Rover. So just so everybody can kind of see that I am still working on it. It'll be finished here pretty soon.
It's not a shelf queen yet.
No, and this one, the Land Rover, definitely, it sat in my stash for a long time because I was waiting for certain paints to come and for me to practice airbrushing. And one thing that scared me yesterday while I was airbrushing the clear on it was I think I didn't wait long enough in between coats, and I was doing the third coat and it started to cloud up and change color underneath, and it was going from there was streaks in it, like a dark blue to a clear blue. But thankfully, that ended up going away and everything cured, and there's no visible changes in color. So the whole airbrushing thing is a whole new world to me. So it's fun learning it, but I don't know. It's been frustrating, but I'm so grateful that I didn't screw up this one, because this is one of my favorite builds, and I definitely plan on building more of them down the road.
Good.
I look forward to seeing them.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, but yes, guys. So I am going to start wrapping up. So
For Christmas.
So a massive thank you to Kaylin for joining us at such very short notice. Honestly, it's been lovely having you.
Don't
Kaylin,
forget
thank you very
to
much.
like and subscribe to his channel as well, White Glove Models.
Oh, yes.
So I'll pimp your show for you, Caitlin. She won't. I will.
I've got you here.
No, it's definitely been a lot of fun. Thanks for inviting me.
You're more than welcome. Thank you very much, Kaylin.
Don't disappear though, buddy.
No, I won't.
You're under orders. So yes, guys. So I'm going to start wrapping up. I will
Christmas.
give you a heads up. I am here next week, but I won't be here the week after because it's early night for Telford. So obviously I will remind you next week. So yes, 2 weeks time I won't be here, but all will resume back after Telford. As always, guys, please keep posting your pictures in the group. It's just amazing to see everyone's work. I'm just so humbled and honoured to have such amazing crafters in the group. It's amazing to see. Again, if anyone wants to join the group, post your links up as you've seen Kaylin does. I have no qualms whatsoever about pimping, because we both had help when we started YouTube pimping our channel. So you know what? We have no qualms about helping other channels. So on that note, night. See you next week. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.